The ICC Trophy was the first Cricket World Cup qualifying tournament, an international one-day cricket event which associate and affiliate members would have to qualify to play in through a system of regional qualifying tournaments. Then in 2007, the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League was created to provide regular global one-day cricket for those countries playing outside the test-playing world, and to provide a structure for all ICC members to qualify for the Cricket World Cup. Leading into the 2011 Cricket World Cup, a 5-division structure was established and commenced in 2008. The top 4, or in some cases the top 2 from each division, progressed to the next event, culminating in the World Cup qualifier, from which 4 teams qualified for the World Cup, with 2 further teams gaining one-day international status. All 6 teams received funding and support from the Gatorade ICC High Performance Programme. Despite its recent beginnings, the World Cricket League has quickly become the focus of many developing nations, allowing them to play against teams around the world of a similar standard and test themselves in different conditions. As part of the ICC development programme, it has been hugely successful amongst African nations, especially Tanzania, who hosted the Division 4 Pepsi ICC World Cricket League.
You know, once the locals get that awareness and that interest of the game, then we can start, you know, like our improvement can start like going up more and more drastically. See, right now it's like just a steady increase, but once the interest increases, then it's got to be more, you know, exponential.
Uganda is a prime example of the benefits of the programme, making huge strides in their road to the World Cup.
ICC has helped cricket develop a lot in Uganda, right from the grassroots through to the national team. And it plays a very important role because now you've got all the kids that have been in school, that are going through university and getting jobs. Those are crowds, those are people who know about the game, who are asking about the game. So working with ICC to have people come home, teams that come home, you've got different 1 or 2 celebrities that will come home just for a tour and go through schools, is going to blow the crowd away, you know, and it's going to change the way people look at cricket back at home. So ICC's involvement is, it can't be quantified.
But the success of the programme doesn't stop there. It's also had a massive impact on the Middle East.
I think it's a huge help, definitely. If you want teams, new teams, associate members to go up and play competitive cricket, I think these kind of tournaments and the 4-day intercontinental tournament, that helps a lot. Because mostly when we go back home, we play 20-over cricket and then there's a couple of 2-3 tournaments, 50 overs. So when you started playing competitive cricket, interest does generate, and then guys playing cricket and they like cricket as well.
Europe is another region where the game has seen a dramatic result, with associate members snapping at the heels of the full members.
Gone are the days of turning our nose up at associate nations and concentrating on the test playing nations. I think that the ICC have done it, you know, fantastic work and keeping their focus on the emerging associate nations.
There have been direct results, with individuals and associate teams making a stamp at the World Cups. At the last tournament in the West Indies, it was Bermuda and Dwayne Leverett who shook things up. Once again, a reminder of what can be achieved.
You're having the other countries that are trying to get to the top associates, and it's going to be very hard because the cricket programs that they have, ICC is funding the programs, and they're going to try to get even stronger and stronger. So we have to be on our P's and Q's and have to try to get even stronger to maintain our level.
It was Ireland, the top associate member, that really stood out at that World Cup, making it through to the last 8, and in doing so beating Pakistan and Bangladesh. Ireland are a true ambassador to all ICC members.
There's a lot more going on, and there's a lot more being pushed in the cricket all over, and I think one of the things is development part, and that's been allocated a huge part of the budget in that we want the cricket to continue, and in order for it to continue, you have to go to the grassroots and get more and more people playing from a young age. So no, it's progressed a lot.
Investment in the youth programmes is essential for this kind of success to continue and for development to go further.
Initially, the thrust has come from in a lot of cases, the immigrant communities in some countries. But what ICC Europe have been very good at is making sure that momentum is taken into schools so that it becomes an indigenous sport rather than just a sport played by immigrants. And you know, that over the last 10 years, that change has been massive.
Over the last I've seen it myself, the last 6 or 7 years, you know, Holland, Ireland, Scotland, Canada have all benefited from funding and support from the ICC.
But it goes further than the top associate nations and their achievements. With the help from all countries of varying standards, the sport is developing across the world, on the pitch and in the nets.
I think maybe the smallest of the nations, like UAE now, and even Afghanistan, are sort of coming from nowhere. Then they know it does give hope to other sides.
Afghanistan's success over the past 2 years has been something of a fairy tale, inspiring all cricketing nations, no matter how big or small.
There's been a startling amount of interest in the game. The growth has been tremendous over the past 10 years, which is about as long as the development program has now been in place. So I think we can look back with some amount of satisfaction at the growth in the game.
I do believe that that there's countries that have made fantastic ground, and when you look at Ireland's results in the 2007 World Cup, for example, in defeating Pakistan, tying with Zimbabwe, making it through to the Super 8s and defeating Bangladesh, they really are amazing achievements that go to show that this great sport can be even greater as it's spread throughout the globe.
Six wickets with 10 balls remaining. Kevin O'Brien's 39.
We have our high performance program, which is focusing on the top 6 associates of the world to try and help them to close the gap to the full members. And again, we have a high performance manager that works very closely with the members to develop high performance pathways and high performance programs and plans that enable their players to reach their peak.
In the past couple of years, the standard of cricket from these developing nations has been a talking point and perhaps surprised professionals who have very high standards.
Batsmen were there trying to bat properly, which is something I would never have dreamt about. A Japanese plate driving through the covers, no way. Someone from Nigeria hitting the ball back past the bowler, no way. And the bowlers were bowling overarm and bowling properly. So all in all, I think this is a development for cricket that has pleased me and has surprised me, and I'm hoping that all the teams will improve later on.
So what of the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League, the road to the World Cup for developing nations? Starting back in 2008 with Division 5 held in Jersey, going through to the World Cup qualifier in South Africa. All teams had their mind on just one thing, the 2011 ICC Cricket World Cup.